your man, Louie Tee. Well, you are in the lab room. I, of course, am your host, Louie Tee. Thank you for joining me on Louie Tee Live. Got some Sunday action. Boy, it's starting to feel familiar, man. Real recognize real. And this Sunday lineup looking damn familiar, man. Love it. Want more of it. And guess what? We're going to get it coming up soon in the next couple of weeks. So, got us some 1 o'clock football action. Going to have some 4 o'clock. Going to have some 8 o'clock. So, starting to get back into the regular routine. And that 1 o'clock game was pretty good. Minnesota Vikings, home for the first time, hosting the San Diego Superchargers. And man, I tell you what, that new stadium though, we're going to talk about that here in a second. But before I get into any of the proceedings this evening, as always, got to set the table. If this is your first time here, welcome. Mi casa, su casa. Subscribe to the channel, LouieTeeNetwork on YouTube. Also have other social media platforms, as you can see right down below. There's Twitter, @InTheLabRoom. Make sure you follow me on Twitter. There's also Facebook. In the Lab Room is the Facebook page. Give me a like. Give me that thumbs up. And if you want to contact the show, if you want to voice your opinion, talk about what you saw in this game, San Diego Chargers versus Minnesota Vikings, there's many ways to do that. Simply use the hashtag as you see it scrolling across the bottom of the screen as I speak right now. Hashtag LouieTeeLive. Whether you're in the chat room or you're on Twitter, use the hashtag again. @InTheLabRoom is the Twitter handle. Use the hashtag LouieTeeLive. Or you can go to Facebook. Use the hashtag LouieTeeLive. So, with all that said, let's jump into the breakdown of what I saw in this Week 3 preseason matchup between the San Diego Superchargers and the Minnesota Vikings. And something that I like to call likes, dislikes, banana in the tailpipe. Like, dislike, banana in the tailpipe.
What y'all, the second team?
We're the first team.
Yeah, we're not gonna fall for a banana in the tailpipe.
You're not going to fall for the banana in the tailpipe?
So the concept here is pretty simple. Likes, things that I liked from both teams in this football game. Dislikes, the things that I didn't like from the two teams in this game. And the banana in the tailpipe is simply this. It's something that I'm not falling for. The banana in the tailpipe is the oldest trick in the book, okay? You're not going to get me to fall for the old banana in the tailpipe. Whether it's something that this team did good in this particular game, and I'm like, even though they did it well in this game, I'm not sure if they're going to do it that well throughout the course of the season. Or they did something really poorly in this game, and I'm like, it looked pretty bad today, but that doesn't mean that's going to be indicative of what they're going to be throughout the 2016 NFL season. Get my drift? I'm not falling for the banana in the tailpipe, man. So let's talk about what I saw in this football game from the visiting team. I always like to start with the visiting team first. There are a lot of likes in this game because a lot of people think the Chargers are going to be bad this year. Hey, I'm guilty. I'm one of them, but I'm going to tell you this much, and I say this all the time. I'm a very practical individual, okay? Very pragmatic. Hard for me to look at a schedule, and if the other team on paper looks better than you, and I expect them to be better than you, hard for me to give you the W. And that's simply what the Chargers ran into. But I always say this, and I'm on record of saying this all the time. You got Phillip Rivers. You have a chance in every single ball game. I don't give a damn who you're playing against because he's still one of the top quarterbacks in this league. And so even though the Chargers roster may not be the greatest and may not be up to the task each and every single week, they got Philly Rivers, man. And that means they have a chance. So the likes in this game for me. Offensive weapons. I said to myself when I was breaking down the AFC West, I said, do the Chargers have enough weapons around Phillip Rivers? It doesn't matter if the Chargers don't have enough weapons around Phillip Rivers. Did you see what he did last year? Name some weapons he had last year. Because Keenan Allen was gone by like week 6, week 7. So name me some weapons. Who was he throwing the football to last year? Dontrell Inman? Huh? Who was he throwing the football to? You can't name me a bunch of these dudes because a bunch of these dudes don't exist. Look, bottom line is it really doesn't matter who you put around Phillip Rivers. He's going to get the job done. The offensive line, did you see what they said during the telecast? 26 different offensive line combinations. Where they do that at? Don't ask me. I don't know. Obviously, they do that in San Diego. Well, Phillip Rivers didn't care. He just set a career best in terms of passing yards last year. That's all he did with limited targets and so many different guys in front of him. He didn't know if he was playing with his teammates or people from other teams. Look, I looked at the weapons in this football game and I said, man, Phillip got a little bit of something to work with at his disposal. KA-13. Of course, I'm talking about Keenan Allen. You got Benjamin, Travis Benjamin, who they went out and got from the Cleveland Browns. And I'm not going to lie to you, I forgot. Okay. OG-85 didn't play in this game, but you don't need to see OG. That's why he's an OG. You don't need to see him in his preseason. Same reason you don't need to see Adrian Peterson in the preseason. For what? You know what these guys are about. I'm talking about Hall of Fame players. I don't need to see them. You got HH. No, not HH Greg. Hunter Henry. Yeah, he's going to start being a focal part of this offense at the tight end position. He's the heir apparent to the throne. And you got Dontrell Inman, a guy that I thought started to really make his name last year, and I think he's going to be a solid contributor. Got Danny Woodhead out of the backfield, led this team in receptions and receiving yards a season ago. And then they got another dude, and while I'm on the subject matter, I might as well bring him up. I got him on the likes list. I'm intrigued by this guy. I don't know him. I'm going to get to know him, though. Tyrell Williams. Looks pretty damn good. That pass he caught, dragging across the field, that was behind him. Caught it like a pro, got up the field, got a first down. They say Phillip Rivers likes him. They say the coaching staff likes him. Well, maybe I need to get to know him because he's probably not going away anytime soon. So I'm intrigued by Tyrell Williams. He's got stuff, essentially, is what I'm trying to say. And you saw it in this game. He's got offensive weapons. Does my man, your man, our man, Phillip Rivers. I thought the Chargers, and this is another like for me in this game, thought the Chargers got some solid pressure on the quarterback in this game. Kyle Emanuel, Corey Liuget, I thought they got some really good. And Kyle Emanuel was the guy that I broke down a couple years back out of North Dakota State. They're becoming a football factory, a powerhouse in terms of sending talent to the National Football League. And he was a guy that was lighting it up in the FBS and or was it? Is it the FCS? I don't know. Okay, don't ask me. It's the FCS. But he was lighting it up. Or is it FBS? I don't know. Don't ask me. Okay. Either way, he was playing at North Dakota State. It's Division A, Division 1 AA. Yeah. I got beat up about that last year, so I had to make sure I got it right. It's Division 1 AA. And he was a beast out there, man. I think he had like 18 sacks his last season out there. I mean, the dude was a stud. And he looks like a guy that's ready to turn the corner now. And that's good to see because he's very talented. Saw him get his hands on a football. Saw him getting some pressure, forcing Teddy Bridgewater to step up and even flush the pocket and vacate. So Corey Liuget, another guy, got a sack in the red zone, forced him to kick a field goal on one play. Was getting consistent pressure over there. Look, their left tackle wasn't in the game. Okay, Matt Khalil didn't play in this football game. They had TJ Clemens out there. TJ was getting worked. And it's okay. It's okay. TJ Clemens, second-year player. Still learning the position, still learning the nuances of the football game. But Corey Liuget looks good. So does Kyle Emanuel. They got solid pressure. And I thought they were flying around out there defensively. All of it isn't good, but they were flying around nonetheless. And Corey Liuget made a play on a screen on the don't tell nobody about the secret weapon known as Jerick McKinnon. Corey Liuget on a screen that looked damn good. I'm talking about this is like third and forever, like 3rd and 16. If Corey Liuget doesn't make this tackle 8 yards down the field, I'm telling you right now, Jerick McKinnon is off to the races. This is probably something like, let's say, a 24-yard game and a first down. So, looked really good there. I like some of the stuff that they're doing. Boy, they could use Joey Bosa. I know that much. But I'm not going to talk about that. I've already done that enough this offseason. Melvin Gordon looked good in this game, man. And I'm happy for the young fellow because last year was rough. You know, I had to talk to some people last year that were trying to convince me that this man was the second coming of Trent Richardson. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. What are we doing here, folks? Stop it. You're being irrational now. Don't do that. Don't do that. So I had to talk some people off the ledge about him. And you're seeing, wow, this guy's a good football player, man. And he worked out with Adrian Peterson in the offseason, and it's going to bode well for him. He looks a lot faster, looks a lot more dynamic. There's a burst there, and on that 30-some-odd yard touchdown run, or it might have even been a little bit further than that, he was moving, man. He split the seam, ran past some defenders, and they weren't going to get him. And so, remember, he got caught in college on a number of occasions. He wasn't getting caught there. That was a different gear right there. So that was really good to see from Melvin Gordon. They need him to produce this year. He looked good in this game. He even looked good catching the football out of the backfield. So that's very refreshing to see. If you're a Chargers fan, you need him to perform. He looked good in this game. Red zone defense. I thought the red zone defense was stellar for the Chargers. They were giving up some yards in this game, and we'll talk about that here in a second. But for all of the yardage that they gave up, the biggest stat in the league is points given up, okay, in terms of a defense. How many points per game are you giving up? Because, look, you can let a team go up and down the field. If they want to have 424 yards of total offense in the game, but only score 13 points, tell them to have at it, man. Have at it. As long as you know how to buckle down, bow that back in the red zone and say, nah, man, can't let you get in. You can keep on knocking, but you can't come in. Can't get in the end zone. If you can do that, you have a chance to succeed in this league. So was really encouraged by the red zone defense because they were giving it up. Gave up a huge run to don't tell nobody about the secret weapon known as Jerick McKinnon. Gave up a huge run to him early in the ball game. Gave up a big run to Tedo on the ground. Tedo shaking the draws off of Phillips, the safety. Ooh, that was nasty. He freaked him. And then you got some big plays in the second quarter on that final touchdown drive by Teddy Bridgewater and the first team offense. Some chunk plays there too. So they gave up some yards, but they were able to buckle down in the red zone. So that was good to see from this Chargers defense. And Drew Kazar, your punter, out of Texas A&M, looks good. Draft pick well spent is what it looks like right now. Now, again, don't want to jump to conclusions. And Mike Cyphers did a good job for a really long time. But Drew Kazar looks legit. Couple of nice ones inside the 10. One of them inside the 5. I'm not saying. Just saying. So, let's go to the dislikes in this football game. The interception, of course, on, I want to say it was the opening possession of the game. Might have been the second possession of the game. Either way, don't want to see it. That one, okay, first of all, give credit where credit was due. Trey Wayans, phenomenal on that play. Great coverage, right there in the hip pocket of the receiver. Actually stuck his hand in the cookie jar and jarred that thing loose. So give him some credit. But Keenan Allen could have done a better job coming back to the football. Maybe if you're Phillip Rivers, you don't even throw that football because the defender is right there. But you trust your guy to win. You trust your guy to make you right there. And KA13 is a special receiver in this league, so you expect him to make you right there and catch that football. But it didn't happen. Turned into an interception to Harrison Smith. So really good play there by the Vikings, but that's something you don't want to see if you're the Chargers. Again, you're not good enough to turn the football over. Simple as that. End of discussion. You're not good enough to help the other team with short fields. Joe Barksdale went down with an ankle injury, the only offensive lineman of that Chargers football team from a season ago to start all 16 games. You don't want to see that. If you're the Chargers, you don't want to see anybody on the ground, especially anybody on that offensive line. You don't want to start playing musical chairs. It's too early in the season for that. I hate injuries. I hate them with a passion, especially when they happen this time of the year. But that being said, they said if this was a regular season game, probably would have been able to go back in. But obviously, preseason, no reason to put him back on the field. So that's good to know that he's okay and probably going to be ready for week 1. Probably won't see him in week 4 of the preseason either. But a guy that isn't going to be okay, and it sucks. And this is why the preseason for a lot of people isn't worth it. Brandon Oliver, running back, backup running back for this Chargers football team, a guy that was a stud, for them at times when they were decimated by injuries a couple years ago in the backfield, tore his Achilles up, man. It looked nasty. If you watch the replay of it, you saw the actual Achilles tendon pop out. Just a really unfortunate set of circumstances for him. And you work this hard all off season to get to this point, to be able to play in the regular season, and your season is gone before it even gets started. And that's really unfortunate for Brandon Oliver. He's probably done for the year with a torn Achilles. Again, I didn't sleep at a Holiday Inn last night, so I can't confirm nor deny that his Achilles tendon is ruptured, but it did not look good at all. The last dislike for me in this game is chunk plays. The Chargers gave up a bunch of chunk plays. Those 20 yards or more plays in this game, there are a lot of them in this football game, and you got to limit those. You can't give up the chunksters. You can't allow the field to be shortened by big plays. Make them earn everything that they get. If they go on a methodical 13-play, 82-yard drive, so be it. Tip your cap to them, say, hey, you got me. But if you let them get chunk plays, it makes it much quicker and easier for a team to score on you. And even though you were able to buckle down in the red zone, don't put yourself in that position because you're not going to be able to play that kind of red zone defense every single week. And if they had Adrian Peterson, you probably wouldn't have been able to play that kind of red zone defense in this game. So can't give up those type of chunk plays if you are the San Diego Chargers. And the banana in the tailpipe for me is simply this: the defense. Okay, if you're the San Diego Chargers defensively, I need you to be better. In this game, like I mentioned, you gave up some chunk plays. And I know you started filtering in some of the second-team guys, but still, for the most part, the majority of your first-team defense was on the field when the Vikings in the second quarter really just marched down the field. Big play after big play after big play, chunk play after chunk play after chunk play. Next thing you know, they're in the end zone. Kyle Rudolph, touchdown. Can't allow that to happen. The Jerick McKinnon run early in the game, can't allow that to happen. Got to limit the chunk plays. I saw a lot of Stephon Diggs chunk plays, 12, 15, 18 yards. That can't happen. Got to limit those things. If you're this Chargers defense, you got to be better because, again, this offense has been carrying dead weight around for quite some time. They need some help, okay? They need to be able to carry their own weight and not have to carry their weight along with the defense's weight. And special teams, for that matter. They showed a stat where the Chargers had 38 total punt return yards last year. Wait, what? 38? Seriously? Wow. So, again, I just need the defense to do their part. So, I'm not falling for the banana in the tailpipe that the defense is this good because the defense actually looked pretty good in this game. I actually don't think the defense is that good. I think that this was a combination of no Adrian Peterson in this game, and they were able to get some pressure because Matt Khalil was out, and so they had some issues at left tackle, and they were able to generate some pressure in this game. I don't know if the defense is that good. I don't expect the defense to be that good. I need them to prove it to me. Prove me wrong that this defense is better than I think, because I know you got some issues at safety. I know you got some issues at safety. Can't lie to me there. There's some issues there. There's some issues up front. That's why you drafted Joey Bosa. I need to see it. So prove it to me. I'm not falling for the banana in the tailpipe that the defense is this good. I think this defense has some issues. So let's go to the Minnesota Vikings in this game and what I liked. Start with the things that I liked. Start with the stadium, man. The new stadium. Come on. The stadium looked good. Man, that stadium looked good. For all the teams that need a new stadium, I know you jealous, man. Don't be jealous, though. Don't be jealous. Build your own. Build your own. Man, that stadium looks good. And they needed that because it's too damn cold in Minnesota to be playing outside, man. Way too cold. Way too cold. That playoff game last year, stupid. Dumb. Okay, so the stadium, awesome. Stephon Diggs, man. How can you not love what this guy is? I'm going to tell you right now, in the draft, I'm going to be honest with you. And I love my stuff. I love Jamison Crowder, wide receiver out of Duke that the Redskins drafted in the 2015 NFL draft. I wanted Stephon Diggs. Don't tell anybody else I told you that. I wanted Stephon Diggs. Out of Maryland, looked legit. I wanted Stephon Diggs. I still want Stephon Diggs. Damn, he's good, man. That young fella, I call him Swag Dizzle. Swag Dizzle looks the part of a number one wide receiver. Don't you agree? No, seriously. Don't you agree? Man, he looks good. And the beauty of what he brings to the table in Minnesota is that we know Tedo struggles with the deep ball. He doesn't have to go deep. Just get this young fella to rock in space and watch him work. Did you see the juke with Denzel Perryman coming from behind and he jump cuts backwards and Denzel Perryman just tackles air, diving? Come on, man. This guy's ridiculous. Stephon Diggs is a playmaker. We talk a lot about Amari Cooper in that draft class from last year. Don't sleep on Stephon Diggs. I'm not saying. I'm just saying. Jerick McKinnon. Shh. Don't tell nobody about the secret weapon known as Jerick McKinnon. Love this dude, man. Love this dude. That first possession, to me, encapsulates what Jerick McKinnon is as a football player. Gets you the big chunk play, the big run up the middle of the field, showcases the speed, almost takes it out the back door for a TD. Then gets another run where he gets to the second level, spins, and almost gets to the end zone. Guy's a dynamic playmaker, can catch it out of the backfield, just brings so many different things to the table. Man, I love me some secret weapon. Jerick McKinnon, he looks ready for the 2016 season. He looked good in his football game. Trey Wayans, impressive. Good to see the young fella coming along. Look, anytime you play the cornerback position, or anywhere in the secondary for that matter, under Mike Zimmer, Zimmer, you're going to evolve. You're going to become a good football player. It's just what happens under Mike Zimmer. He's been doing it for so long. He's such a great teacher. And he's been teaching his ass off because Trey Wayans looks like night and day difference from last year. Last year, I'm like, man, this kid looks lost. Well, he's a rookie, so it's okay. Year 2, he looks ready, man. They got him out there starting, and the young fella looks ready. The interception, he calls that. There was a third down incompletion. He calls that in zone coverage. All right, he's a Brown of football. Pick the dude up, slam. Yeah, he got a personal foul penalty. I don't care. Physical. I want to see that. Be nasty. Tackling. Trey Wayans looks the part, man. And I wasn't a huge fan of Trey Wayans. I'm not afraid to say it. I'm not going to lie to you, man. I don't sugarcoat nothing. If I'm wrong, I'll be the first one to tell you. But you must know. You damn sure best know. If I'm right, I'm damn sure going to let you know I'm right. But I was wrong. I think I was wrong because this preseason game isn't going to be the end-all, be-all for Trey Wayans. But he looks good, man. And I think they might have hit a home run with him. He looks like he's ready to have a strong campaign in 2016. Danielle Hunter, man. Danielle Hunter looked good last year. Got 6 sacks. Played well. And he looks good off that edge. He looks like a guy that's ready to apply some pressure, get some sacks. He was raw coming out of LSU. I was really surprised at what he did last year in terms of sacks and getting to the quarterback. He looks explosive. He looks dynamic. Still looks like he needs to learn some moves. I love to see him use some more of his hands, more hand usage to defeat some of those blockers when he gets around the corner because he's explosive enough to win just off of pure athleticism, get around the corner, but finish it by using your hands to defeat that tackle, get his hands off you and get to the quarterback. But he was consistently applying pressure to Phillip Rivers and making him uncomfortable in the pocket. So thought he looked good in this game. Kyle Rudolph, we know what he is. He had the fumble. I'll talk about that in a second. But the catch for the touchdown, phenomenal. Had another solid catch on the fumble. Kyle Rudolph he's a really good tight end, a really good weapon for Teddy Bridgewater in this offense. You know what you're getting out of Kyle Rudolph. If he stays healthy, he's going to be phenomenal. And you saw it in this game. Teddy Bridgewater looked sharp. Looked sharp in this game at times. That second quarter drive that led to a touchdown, pretty impressive on that drive. The run in the first quarter, that was nasty. That was filthy. That was my man had to clean his drawers up after that. Yeah, that was he definitely dropped the S on him right there. That was pretty gross. He didn't have to do him like that. That man, I don't know if he's got kids, but he's probably got a niece, a couple nephews. Come on, man. Don't do him like that. Not on national television. Don't do him like that, Tedo. Come on, man. That's just wrong. So that was beautiful. And sometimes we forget that Tedo's athletic and he can run. Yeah, he is. Okay? Don't underestimate him. He can run. He can pick him up and put him down. So that was good to see. Thought he was accurate, like he always is, in the intermediate to short game. That throw to Kyle Rudolph, you can't do it much better. That's a Drew Brees-esque throw. When you throw it over the middle on a seam route to a tight end with the linebacker right there over the outstretched arms of a tight end, that's a Drew Brees throw in my book. And that was gorgeous for the touchdown. The thing I love about Tedo is he throws with timing and anticipation because he has to. But more importantly, he gives his receivers a chance to run after the catch. Like the first completion of the game is Stephon Diggs on a crosser. He lays it out there so that he doesn't have to stop. He doesn't have to lose any kind of momentum. He can just run through the catch and get up the field. And that's why he was able to pick up like 14 yards on that play. Simple dragger, crosser, right across the shallow drag, right across the middle of the field. A play that you're talking about maybe 2-3 yards of depth up the field and turns into a 14-yard completion because he led him out in front so that he could catch it and keep running. And that's what Teddy Bridgewater brings to the table. He looks sharp in his football game. And if he can just continue to be who he is, sprinkle in a little bit of that downfield action that they were talking about and that I've been harping on about him needing to drive the football down the field. If he can start to do that, they could have something in Teddy Bridgewater. And then the offensive line, give some credit where credit is due. The offensive line looked good in this game. Despite not having their left tackle, Matt Khalil, thought they looked good. The additions in the offseason look to be paying dividends. That offensive line protected well for the most part in this game, and the running lanes were good as we saw some success from Jerick McKinnon in this football game. So offensive line looks to be much improved, and when they get their left tackle back, I think they'll be that much better up front in front of Teddy Bridgewater. Let's go to my dislikes. Not many things I disliked in this game from the Viking standpoint. The red zone offense, though, needs to be fixed. And really, I think that's a byproduct of not having Adrian Peterson in this game. If he's in there, I don't know if those 2 field goals are 2 field goals. They might be 2 touchdowns. Who knows? I mean, who's to really say? But you never want to see your team get all the way inside the 10 and then got to settle for a chip shot field goal. So I would like to see them get the football in the end zone. That was part of the problem last year. Not enough points. Defense held teams down. They won some ball games, but they were winning some games 16-13, 19-16. How about scoring 27 points? How about scoring 24 points? That always helps. If you can score points in this league, you're going to win a bunch of games with the type of defense this Vikings team plays. Hell, they even get contributions out of their special teams. If you can just play a little bit better on offense and score more points, and I think that's why they made some of the moves in the offseason to upgrade some of the weapons, you could be talking about a Super Bowl contending team here because defensively, special teams-wise, they're one of the best in the league. So if you can score some points, can't leave points on the scoreboard in the red zone, wasn't a fan of the red zone offense in this game. Again, take it with a grain of salt. No Adrian Peterson. Kyle Rudolph in the fumble. Look, I'm not going to beat him up. It happens. Great play. Give some credit where credit is due. Great play by the safety of the Chargers. I think his name is McCoy or McCroy or something like that. I don't know who he is. Never seen him before. It was a really good play. Stuck his hand in the cookie jar. And guess what he found? A cookie. Yum, yum, eat 'em up. Yum, yum, eat 'em up. Yeah, he reached in, got a cookie, and ate it. Good for him. Got to give credit where credit is due. Is a hell of a play. Got to secure the football. It's not going to happen very often, but it happened. Don't want to see it, but it did. So let's get to the banana in the tailpipe for the Vikings in this game. For me, red zone offense. I already talked about it. I don't want to harp on it too much because, again, no Adrian Peterson. I'd like to think things change with him in the red zone. But, again, let's say he has an ankle injury, can't play for 2 weeks. I need you to be able to still get in the end zone. And I know it's preseason. You're not game planning, yada, 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 so forth, and so on. I get it. But get inside the 10-yard line. I want to see you get in the end zone. I know you're not going to get in all the time, but I'd like to see you get in the end zone. Simple as that. So that's the Minnesota Vikings hosting the San Diego Chargers in this game. Man, that stadium looks beautiful. Going to go to Twitter and see if there are any comments. I probably won't have any comments there, but I'm going to check anyhow and see what's there. So, checking Twitter right now. And nope. No tweets. I'm going to go to the actual YouTube discussion chat. And yeah, there's actually something here. The Cruisin' 26 says, do you know when? Oh, he was talking to them. And I can answer that. Just address that to me. Don't ask them. Ask me. Hashtag Louie Tee Live. Don't ask them. Ask me. When am I breaking down the Jets-Giants game? I have it on my DVR. Of course, we got a lot of live football today. I don't want to miss that. So whenever I get a break in the action, I'm going to watch that Jets-Giants game. I think I have the Lions and the Ravens first. But since you put in a request, I can move them up. And make them the next game that I watch. It's not a big deal. So the minute I get a chance to look, I will do Giants and Jets next. But of course, the next game will be the 4 o'clock game, Texans and Cardinals. Hopefully, those teams play right to the half, and then I can just run in, knock that out, and then I'll be able to start looking at that before the nightcapper, of course, the Sunday night game, Jacksonville and Cincinnati. So there's that. So that's going to do it for this particular program. If it happens in the National Football League, whether big or small, we cover it all here in the lab room. Come back and join me as I continue to break down anything and everything in the National Football League. Come back and join me. We got football all day today, man. So I'm coming back with Arizona and Houston. And then after that, I'm coming back with Jacksonville and Cincinnati. And then after that, I'm coming back with Giants and Jets. And then after that, I'm coming back with Lions and Ravens. And then after that, I just got the Kansas City Chiefs and Chicago Bears, and I'm done. So keep joining me. And remember, we are changing the game one live feed at a time. I'm going to see you in a couple hours. Come back and join me.